Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MTG Traders. My name is Taryn, and this is Red Black Afflict. You guys have been talking about a rotation-proof deck for a while now, and I'm here to answer that call. Afflict is a mechanic that was released with our Devastation, and let me tell you, it's busted in Limited, but even more busted in Standard when an opponent can't deal with it. This deck is about getting in fast, removing your opponent's board, and swinging in for GG. But before I get into the video, hit that like button and subscribe to MTG Traders for more content like this in the future. Alright, let's go. Since we're wanting to be fast, one of the best one-drops in the format is Bomat Cooyer. While being a turn 1 swing in for 1, it has the capability of refilling your hand mid to late game when things seem dire. Have a Cooyer on board with 4 cards underneath it? Awesome. Sack it and fill up your hand with amazing treats. But that's the only one-drop we have in the deck. This isn't ramming up red. We're not that fast, but we are deadly. Moving to the 2-drop slot, we've got a playset of Glint Sleeve Siphoner. The Siphoner pulls double duty as well. Being a 2/1 menace creature allows her to get in frequently, and her secondary card draw ability feeds our energy needs and help us get out our bombs even quicker. Expect removal to come her way as she's integral to winning a match. Moving up to the 3-mana slot, we've got 4 Amet Eternal and 3 Merciless Eternal. Both creatures offer the ever-oppressive Afflict effect. Even if they don't get in, they still do damage, which is super useful. Merciless Eternal can also reach up and smack down a larger creature if you have cards to pitch into the graveyard. Amet Eternal here is, well, he's a 4-turn clock on turn 3. If they can't stabilize on mana or have an answer to it swinging in, then Amet will be a 5/5 turn over turn. The last 5 creatures we have are a doozy in the 4-mana slot. We've got 3 Bone Picker and 2 Wildfire Eternal. Bone Picker is basically a 1-mana 3/2 flying Death Toucher, but we need to ping a creature to death in order to do so. So this is either a post-combat play or removal play. Either way, Bone Picker is sweet and at the moment largely overlooked. Wildfire Eternal is actually one of the best cards in the deck if you ask me. If it gets in for 1 damage, you can cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. Now that is ultimate value. And with 18 spells in the deck, you know we have plenty of targets to hit. But that is it for creatures. We've got 20 in total. Not bad at all. We're heavy on black creatures, but don't let that fool you. Each one is super useful and integral to the Afflict deck we're building towards. Okay, moving on to spells. At the 1-mana slot, we've got, of course, a playset of Fatal Push and Supernatural Strength. One takes life, the other grants it. Since we have 9 creatures with Afflict, they'll want to attack in regardless of if it's a good time to attack or not. Supernatural Strength helps us get in, maybe even trade while afflicting damage and getting our creatures back at the end of the turn. Fatal Push here is, well, it's one of the best pieces of removal in all of Magic. And due to ramming up red and other fast strategies out there, a 4-of is necessary. Moving up to the 2-mana slot, we've got 3 copies of Harness Lightning. Shock was originally in this slot, as was a Braid before that, but the energy producing just synergizes so well with Glint Sleeve that it couldn't be overlooked. Not to mention having the ability to reach up and kill off a potential 4 or 5 toughness creature. Harness Lightning is amazing, and if you're running red with some form of energy in the deck, run this for sure. Moving up to the 3-mana slot, we've got 2 copies of Doomfall and 1 Sweltering Suns. Doomfall is here for Game 1 God and Control matchup. Most of the time if they're running gods, they'll struggle to have other creatures on the board. That means that Doomfall can get rid of a pesky Kefnet or Hazoret for the low cost of 3 mana. Doomfall's other ability is also incredibly good. No creatures on the field, playing against control, let's get that Gear Hulk out of their hand. So freaking useful. Also, Sweltering Suns is here to help against the Game 1 token or goat-wide strategies. The Suns was a sideboard at first, but due to how fast the meta is at the moment, it's a necessity in the main board. The last 4 cards, Game Enders and Planeswalker removal. 2 copies of Cut to Ribbons and 2 copies of Never to Return. Cut is here as a giant piece of creature hate and end of the game life loss. There are so many times you'll run into your opponent having 4 or 5 life, you just can't get that last bit of damage through. This helps that a lot. Lastly, Never to Return is to fight that Game 1 Planeswalker deck and help exile a God Pharaoh target before they get a chance to reanimate it. The more play this deck gets, the more useful this card seems. I love it. Okay, that's it for the main board. Let's hit the lands real quick. We've got 4 Canyon Slough, dual land and Cyclers, 2 Raminep Ruins for that extra point or 2 of damage, 2 Scavenger Grounds for graveyard hate, 6 Mountain, and 8 Swamp. Our mana base is leaning more towards the black color, but thanks to the dual lands, we're evening out just fine. But let's say we're running up against a wall. That's where my sideboard comes into play. 1 Chandra's Defeat to fight a Chandra Planeswalker or a red creature, 2 Liliana's Defeat to fight a Lily or black creature, which seem to be taking over the format now, 2 Abrade for artifacts and Gear Hulks, 2 Lay Bare the Heart for the control matchup and extra hate, 1 Salt Injury for the fog deck matchup, 1 Dispossess for artifact hate, 1 Lost Legacy for removal hate, a 2nd Sweltering Suns in the sideboard to fight the token strategy, 2 Hour of Glory for god hate as well as Ormondal hate, and lastly 2 Glory Bringers because that card is just busted beyond belief. And that is the full 75. On MTGOtraders.com, the deck is coming to a surprisingly low 57 tickets. That's ridiculous considering what's in the deck. I foresee that to spike in the near future, so get on the action while you can. But let me know what you think of the deck. Love it? Hate it? Have some changes for it? I'm always in the comments replying back as often as I can. But as always, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to MTG Traders for more content like this in the future. I'll see you guys in the next video.